Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's, looking at a Ford Transit Air 2.4. Okay, so I've just been having a look over it already here, and we have these codes. Now, this is a bit of a strange one because this vehicle has just come to me straight from a garage. Now, this guy, obviously this is the customer's, he's brought it to me from a garage, but it's just he's just taken it out of a garage who has fitted a new high pressure fuel pump and injectors. And they have said to him the only remaining fault is a block DPF. Now, he's come here today to me with me expecting to just do a straightforward DPF clean, but I've plugged it in and we've got correlation between the map sensor and the pressure. So basically looks like it's got a boost leak. Soot accumulation, soot accumulation. Turbocharger underboost. Exhaust temperature too low, so it's going to need a vaporizer. But now the ones I'm worried about is obviously the turbocharger, underboost, and the airflow volume range. Glow plugs I'm not concerned about, but it's the turbocharger and the airflow circuit that is going to be an issue, because if I fit a new vaporizer, clean these DPF, and these issues are still here, then this DPF problem is likely going to come back. But what this guy is saying to me is, if I can just sort out the DPF, he's going to bring it back to his garage and get him to have a look at these problems, because these were not here, just a fuel pressure issue that he had sorted. But what I'm thinking is, obviously when the guy's been working on the van, maybe he's had lots of stuff disconnected, and he's been running the engine with the air hoses, inlet pipes disconnected, and maybe that's just triggered off lots of this stuff. We're going to do a smoke test. I've just already got it ready to go ahead there. So just get that connected up. We'll switch on the smoke test. So having a little look around there. Only thing I can notice is there's a slight drip coming from the thermostat housing there. This is had one of these more simpler thermostats before they started making all these complicated engines. Very little simple thermostat there on this, but just looking for any sort of boost leaks now. We're looking for smoke to be coming out, but it's been running for a fair few minutes now and we haven't got anything, so I'm going to release the pressure, and that's what we're looking for, that smoke to be leaking from a different section of the engine here to indicate a boost leak. So again, can't see no boost leak, so what I'm thinking is, obviously when this guy's been working on it, they've had the engine running with boost hoses, or they have probably had to disconnect the turbo. They fitted a new high pressure pump, I believe it's down this side somewhere. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with that at the minute. I think what I might do is clear some of the codes, take it on a little test run, and then rescan it. Okay, I've reconnected everything down there. I'm gonna clear these fault codes. And just so I can get the vehicle out of limp mode, what I'm going to need to do is just tell it, just quickly, that it's had a new DPF. Now this won't last. I can tell it it's had a new DPF, but within a few miles the vehicle will realise that the DPF is still blocked. But I'm going to need to do that just to eliminate this doubt that there is other issues here. Okay. This scan tool is the Launch Euro Tab 3. Okay, so that's all done. So now that the DPF, I've told it it's had a new DPF, I'm going to have to clear these codes again. Now those codes should stay clear this time. Well, at least the DPF ones. Maybe not the glow plugs. Okay, we've just got glow plugs back now. So what it's going to allow me to do is going to allow me to try and take the vehicle on a test drive with the turbo working, because with the DPF fault there, the engine light's going to stay on, and it's not going to allow me to use the turbo boost, so I'm not going to know if the vehicle is under boosting. So before we take it on a test drive, I'm just going to get a few live data items up. We're going to look for the differential pressure, that one, the temperature, Okay, so it looks like it's going to need a exhaust gas temperature by the looks of it. And we have 55 millibars of pressure on the DPF. Okay, we're back from a little test drive there. We have an engine malfunction light back on. Coolant temperature did reach 90 degrees. Exhaust gas temperature, sort of DPF pressure has increased now. It's warmed up to 95 millibars. That is quite high. Let's just hold it up the revs and just see how far does it go. Anyway, it goes to 3000 RPM. We have 360 millibars of pressure. So we'll let that idle back down. Got around about 90 now. Let's just see what fault codes have returned. I mean, really, I don't really want to do any. If you've got problems like this, we're wasting our time. Yeah, we're wasting our time really cleaning the DPF on this. Turbo underboost, sorry. Underboost, sensor circuit high voltage. So it looks like it just needs a boost sensor, really. Let's have a look. So looking at the boost actuator there, it's close, but it's slightly off, 78. Its desired position is 80. Let's just give it some revs and see if it changes. So it is moving, it's just, yeah, slightly off where it wants to be. So we're just moving it around a bit. Map sensor doesn't seem to be moving. Okay, try and get in here to show you. Looking at the map sensor here. Guess what? It's not plugged in. And it does not look like it's gonna plug in, is it? Oh, there we go. We've got a click. We have a click. No, we haven't. Let's come back out. Let's try and have a look at the connections. See what's going on. See if we can get this connected up properly. I just use my two hands on that. Okay, we've got that connected back up properly, so hopefully that was just a simple problem like that. Okay, we've got the boost sensor back working. That's good news. I'm not sure whether to pay attention to that at the minute. It's in the red because it's not exactly where it wants to be. I don't know if we can calibrate it maybe. So, unfortunately, now I'm looking at this, what it looks like. From what the customers told me, it went in with a fuel pressure issue. Came back out and then he had these issues. He brought it back to the garage. They said, okay, it's a DPF issue. Now, unfortunately, it looks like to me that leaving that boost sensor unplugged has maybe caused his issue. But there is a code there for the vaporizer. So I don't know. Let's just concentrate on what I'm here to do. I'm not really worried about I suppose how it happened. In a way, I need to I need to figure out why it happened and what's going on, because that has led me to look at, okay, the map sensor wasn't working, and I knew that someone was working in that area, which made me look down there. So yeah, you can see why knowing the history does sort of help. Okay, so I'm just under the vehicle here now. Suppose it was worth my while checking the plugs for the exhaust gas temperature sensors, make sure these are all connected properly, and they do seem to be. And I can see here somebody's already had a go at trying to have a clean on the DPF here, because I can see that's been disconnected already. Okay, we have voltage on the exhaust gas temperature sensors. I mean, we can only get the live data up for one of them, even though there is two down there. And we're getting 2 on the voltage. Now, we're not getting no fault codes for the exhaust gas temperature sensor either. So I'm not sure if there's just maybe an issue with this diag machine reading the sensors. I can plug a different one in later to find out. But we're going to clean the DPF now, and The customer wants to take it back to his own garage anyway to have them sort of check over all the work that they've done, and if it needs an exhaust gas temperature sensor, that can be done. Okay, I've got the front driver's wheel off here, and we are going to come down in here, just up there to the vaporizer. Let me get that disconnected, and to open that I'm going to use this burner here, blowtorch. Just going to put some heat on the base there. Okay, so I've used this vaporizer spanner here to get that open. Now that is hot, so just be careful obviously when you're getting them down. Okay, so we've got that vaporizer now off the vehicle, and we can test it with a mini vac here. So what you'll see is if you vacuum it up, see the pressure increases. So unfortunately I haven't got the correct replacement here for this one, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a repair on this one, get it working. So again, I'm going to use the blowtorch on this area. Okay, now after a few minutes of that, what we do is we pump this at the same time that we're putting the flame on it, and then we should have a result like that where we're not getting any pressure. So that means the vaporizer is now free flowing, and that can inject fuel into the system. Okay, now I'm going to just prime up the new vaporizer that's been put in, or sorry, the refurbished one. Now I'm going to fill the DPF up with this DPF cleaning fluid here, and it goes into this gun, and we'll get it all connected up to the van. That goes connected to the compressor, and we'll put the fluid into the DPF at 120 psi. So round about there, 9 bar. So that's connected just like that. I've removed the pressure sensor, connected this with a piece of fuel line to the gun there, and then we can get that squeezed in. Maybe not, it's come off. Get that connected back up again. So I'll swap that over for a slimmer piece of hose that fits a little bit more tightly. Okay, so we squeeze that bottle in. We're just going to do a little bit more with the engine running. That's just going into the DPF there. I can see the DPF is leaking from that middle section there. Okay, now we have 242 millibars. We're just going to hold the revs here for a few minutes. Okay, holding at 3000 RPM, we have 49 millibars now. Take it on a test drive. So to reset these back to zero, what I've done is gone to special functions, power control module functions, and reset the particle filter learned values. Now I'm just going to do a reset on the exhaust gas temperature sensor, if I can find it. If we have it. No, I don't think we have it here actually. Oh, we've got it right here. Not sure if that will do anything with the exhaust gas temperature sensor reading. Okay, that's all done, and we have typical transit. Once we've now cleaned the DPF, we don't have any more faults. Even after the test drive, all the other stuff has sort of disappeared. I've had lots of transits do exactly the same thing as that. I don't know why. That's it, it's all finished. See you in the next video.